In strengthening the links of our justice system, more elements are being bolstered to give Jamaicans better access and move us more and more towards a first-class justice system. Today's magazine will look at some of the improved designs in Jamaica's justice infrastructure with you, its citizens, at the core. Welcome to One More Wednesday with Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. The news and then developments in our justice system follows.
As a nurse, my heart bleed for see the accident victims. Worse when blood and oxygen short. Ease the burden on our hospitals, no man. Please me I beg you no. Drive safe on the road.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, September 21. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clarke, is urging more Jamaicans to embrace the move towards the digital economy by utilizing cashless financial transactions. The Finance Minister says the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the need to diversify the methods in which Jamaicans access financial services. The thrust has led to the introduction of Jamaica's central bank digital currency, Jamdex, which is the world's first legal tender online money.
The only way that we're going to be able to include the hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans who are a part of this economy is to have a technology that allows us to leapfrog some of the difficulties that the society has with traditional methods.
Minister Clarke was addressing Wednesday's launch of digital payment solution company Link's ABM cash-in, cash-out feature. The initiative allows customers to deposit or withdraw cash from their digital wallet free of cost at any of the National Commercial Bank's 325 ABMs across the island. Link users are not required to have a bank account or bank-issued card to use the free app. Persons seeking to connect to Link may do so by downloading the app from their mobile phone's app store and completing the registration form. It is now easier for persons to access treatment for kidney disease at the Spanish Town Hospital. That's thanks to 2 separate donations of much-needed equipment to the St. Catherine-based institution recently. The hospital received 3 new dialysis machines worth $12.9 million from the Transport Authority and the National Health Fund, NHF. Florida-based entity Renal Dynamics also gifted the hospital 10 refurbished hemodialysis machines valued at over $28 million. Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, says the donation complements the planned $50 million upgrade of the institution in 2023.
Today's gift will strengthen the public health system ability to offer life-saving dialysis treatment. The act of solidarity is a true demonstration of the importance of partnership in public health.
It's our hope that this step in the right direction will propel other public and private organizations to follow similar paths.
Still on health, Jamaica is now in receipt of $540,000 in equipment and tools to strengthen its fight against COVID-19. The items were handed over recently to the Ministry of Health and Wellness by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization. They include a 30-seater mobile vaccination unit, a 16-seater vehicle to transport vaccination field teams, a gene expert machine, high-flow nasal oxygen devices, and test kits. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton welcomed the donation, which he says will increase COVID-19 vaccination rates among Jamaicans, which is now at 30% of the population.
We need a comprehensive review around the perception and the importance and why that people place on immunization.
PAHO were motivated by the benefit of the donation that affects, of course, human health. And so when we look at the buses downstairs, we see the opportunities for disabled persons to be able to have treatment, access to vaccine coverage in the streets near where they live.
The U.S. government, through USAID, is committed to supporting the government of Jamaica in addressing the needs of this nation.
In other news, residents of Western Park in Clarendon are the latest beneficiaries of the Universal Service Fund's Free Internet Service Initiative. The Wi-Fi service, which was launched in the community last Friday, will allow up to 200 persons who are within 300 feet to connect to the internet at any one time. USF's Chief Executive Officer Daniel Dawes is urging residents to make the best use of the facility.
once you have need of the use of the internet, school purposes, you want to do a bank transaction, you want to pay your light bill, you want to pay your water bill, any activity that requires the input or the use of the internet, you can come right here and it will not cost you $1.
The USF is an agency of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. It is mandated to provide internet connectivity and increase the use of ICT devices across the country. Spirit Airlines will begin direct service from Bradley International Airport at Hartford, Connecticut in the United States to Montego Bay on December 15. The airline will provide 4 weekly non-stop flights and is the first to offer this service to Jamaica from Hartford. Director of Tourism at the Jamaica Tourist Board, Donovan White, made the disclosure at a recent JIS think tank. He says the service will provide the island with additional marketing opportunities.
It gives our business development officers in the marketplace an additional region to focus on in terms of driving our marketing and driving our sales and promotion activities.
And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is currently representing Jamaica's interests at the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. The one-week event is being held in New York City in the United States. It brings together 193 countries to discuss a host of issues, including sustainable development and economic growth, maintenance of international peace, security, and crime prevention. Prime Minister Holness is expected to address the UNGA on Thursday. He will also hold bilateral talks on the margins of the Assembly. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang will oversee government until the Prime Minister returns to Jamaica on Saturday. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
All children deserve positive parenting. Why not pamper us? Be patient with us. Make time to teach us and, of course, play with us. Celebrate milestones with us and don't forget to be our #1 supporter. Do all these things and practice positive parenting today.
Legal aid is an important part of many justice systems across the world. We now look at the work of the Legal Aid Clinic here in Jamaica and its push to provide improved access to justice for all.
Yo. Alright, yo, may I make a call?
Hello?
Yeah, Jen. Auntie, just get a call from the station here. Them lock up Johnny.
Lord have mercy. So where them have him there for?
Some gun business in a taxi and them something.
I feel out of trouble. Business not even going too right. Oh God.
No man, enough affordable money now. You can go to a legal aid council, them have a list of lawyer where let them provide it free.
Alright, my love.
Yeah man, just go down there and talk to somebody.
We will meet you there in a little while.
Johnny's case is one of some 3,000 for which the Legal Aid Council makes duty counsel representation each year. The duty counsel service provides for free legal representation from a lawyer at the police station for persons arrested, detained or remanded. The assigned counsel will visit the person in need and provide help at the various stages: the lockup, identification parade, interrogation, and apply for station bail or bail by the court. Lockup visits and bail application are free of cost and require no application form. Everyone has the right to justice through the country's justice system, even if they cannot afford the cost for legal services. The Legal Aid Council has been ensuring this restricted access to justice, and lawyers assigned complete hundreds of some 1,500 court cases annually, benefiting hundreds of children and adults. Legal aid is the system that provides legal representation for Jamaicans who can ill afford to pay for this service whenever they come in conflict with the law, thus ensuring access to justice for all persons without financial barriers. The organization established to support these services is the Legal Aid Council. The Legal Aid Council, a statutory body within the Ministry of Justice, governs the legal aid system. For court representation, the Legal Aid Council or the court office completes an application form on behalf of the client and assigns a lawyer to represent the client until the end of the matter. All attorneys assigned court matters are private attorneys required to vigorously defend the right of the client, take full instructions from the client, advise the client, and ensure the best outcome on behalf of the client. Cases involving murder matters only require assigned attorneys to have 10 years' experience or more. Where a defendant requires DNA, handwriting, or other specialized expertise to advance their case, the Legal Aid Council will undertake the cost for a client unable to afford these professional services. While the Legal Aid Council provides full representation in court for clients with criminal matters, the Council only provides consultations on civil matters before determining whether the individual can afford legal representation. Thereafter, the Council provides an attorney to assist with a court matter. The duty counsel representation from the point of arrest to the first court appearance is free and it does not require the completion of an application form.
There are two main ways to access legal aid for criminal matters. One is the duty counsel stage. This is where a person has been taken into police custody and you're entitled to a lawyer. No application to fill out, no contribution fee to make from the moment you are taken into custody until your first court date. That is duty counsel. The officer has a duty to call duty counsel. Every station should have a list of the duty counsel available. If they don't, contact the legal aid counsel for an up-to-date list. If it's a family member that comes to the legal aid counsel or the clinics, if the person is in custody, not charged, no application form, no fees. The counselor or the clinic makes a call wherever the person is to an attorney who has his office near to that location and assigns the attorney. The attorney at the end of the matter sends in a claim to us. So the client makes no payment to the attorney.
Good morning. Thank you for calling the law firm of Stone and Brighton. How may I help you?
So the duty counsel is mandated to ensure that all the rights set out in the law for question and answer are observed for you as a citizen. All the rights and protection surrounding ID parades are maintained. Additionally, if the lawyer observes a child, any person under 18 being held at an adult lockup, that lawyer must make an application for the child to be removed to a juvenile facility. So that's the duty counsel stage. For the court aspects, if the judge observes that the person is without a lawyer, the judge will invite the clerk or assistant clerk to interview the person and grant legal aid. So the citizen is protected at every stage. At the duty counsel stage, some people would have been released after the ID parade, released after the question and answer. But for those who have been charged, you're entitled now to a lawyer to represent you during the trial. For that, there's an application form that the court would fill out or the legal aid counsel or a clinic would fill out. And you may be asked to make a contribution. But the person who is not able to make any contribution will be granted help. If the means test shows that at the time you're not able to pay anything, then it would be zero contribution. So it is designed in a way that it helps rather than it obstructs. The client will basically be stating whether they have any income and any expenditure, the bills they have to pay, number of children that they have to support, etc.
The Legal Aid Council pays the private lawyer for his or her services to the legal aid client at the completion of the matter. If the client can contribute towards the process, they make payments at any branch of Scotiabank and not to the lawyer.
That contribution, there's no deadline on it. If the person says at the next month end, we are flexible. What we find now is that more Jamaicans are now able to approach the court, and whether funds are there or not, whether unemployed or not, they now can approach the court being represented by counsel. So a lawyer is there to put forward your defense, to speak on your behalf. And we have helped persons who were convicted. And in fact, in one instance, we provided a DNA report at the appeal level, and we were successful.
The council continues in its bid to reach more persons in need across the country using a Justice mobile unit acquired through the Citizen Security and Justice Program and its international partners. The unit has been taking the service to some 50 communities, particularly in rural Jamaica and the inner city yearly.
Still on the matter of justice, we now look at the role of the Victim Services Division. This unit is providing therapeutic support to children who are victims of crime through its animation bundle.
Children sometimes see too much. At other times, they hear too much. And many of them feel too much. There are situations where children become victims of crimes, seeing, hearing, and feeling too much of its effect. The hurt and trauma can linger without the proper intervention strategies. This is where government's Victim Services Division comes in. The VSD is having a far-reaching and sweeping impact as it provides help to this vulnerable group.
The Victim Services Division is that division within the Ministry of Justice, which is responsible for coordinating the ministry's support base for victims of crime. Anyone can become a victim of a crime. Victims of crime are often persons who suffer just about any crime you imagine. There are sexual crimes, small children, there is robbery, there is murder, wherein the primary victim, though, has deceased. The secondary victim, which is the family members, are there for the support that we give. We recognize that our victim population was getting younger. Whilst we still would have to communicate with them some of the complex concepts that are a part of the therapeutic process. Hence, we needed to find a medium that will allow for us to use their type of language, colors and sounds and movement.
Well, that medium the ministry found was the use of an animation bundle. It is comprised of 8 short films that offer therapeutic intervention and lessons to children who are victims of crime.
Your daughter was almost abducted today, but she was smart. She ran away. However, there is more she could have done. Walking with headphones on is a dangerous habit. You must be alert. Pay attention to your surroundings and the dangers around you.
Our animation strategy involves the creation of a character called Justy. And Justy represents all that is good and right about what should be done when a child is faced with a difficulty. A child seeing the animation immediately will be able to interact. They are short animation films, so the attention span of the child is not hampered in any way. And our intent is not just for them to watch Justy, but to become and to embody the teachings, the values of justice in order to help other children.
I have not left the house in over 3 weeks. I came here to work as a helper, and now he tells me that I'm going to work at a nightclub.
Put these on and get ready. We're leaving for the nightclub in half an hour.
Anyone can be trafficked. It does not matter your age, gender, or race.
We also ensure that we would have elected to choose specific topics which were current and will remain current. Abduction is a reality. The matter of being bullied is a reality. Human trafficked is another reality, and among others. There are 8 animation films. And these are current, we have seen over time. We have had the opportunity to have children literally vet the animations, and we are very comfortable that they have the content that will reflect concerns that children would want to share with their friends.
But why was the Victim Services Division so sure that these animated videos would have or will even continue to pull the required effect?
The process of developing an intervention involves doing an assessment. We would have had the benefit of, over the last 20 years, 200,000 victims that we would have been able to assess. We would have had clear understanding of what needs to be done to provide support for the victims of crime, hence the program VSD. What we did was to use that 20 years of experience. We have a cadre of trained social workers, psychologists, various levels of competencies to work with children. And we have just managed to package this entire expertise into 8 animations. I am absolutely confident that they have what it takes to make a difference.
So even in all the challenges, the Victim Services Division is working to provide psychosocial support for victims of crime. The division is committing its unit to the advancement of victim rights, including those of our children. And your role can be as simple as speaking up.
Government is also actively targeting justice in our educational institutions. Through the Ministry of Justice's School Suspension Intervention Program, many students are being given a shot at redemption. Learn more in our next feature.
Our journey unfolds in different ways, different paths trodden by the unique whirls and ridges of our footprints. For some, that journey will never make contact with the wrong side, while for others, conflict will become a reality, even as a child. That's where the Dispute Resolution Foundation's School Suspension Intervention Program, SSIP, comes in, making help available for both children and parents.
The Dispute Resolution Foundation provides a safe space for children where they can freely express themselves. So here they are not judged or cursed or bashed or any such thing. So that makes it easier for us to find the underlying issues that need addressing.
So the School Suspension Intervention Program emerged in 2006 as a result of the growing surge of crime and violence in the Spanish Town community, to support education officers or educators and persons who work with young people. And the service we provide is a rehabilitative program for students who are at a risk of suspension, those who have been suspended. That's our main focus here in the SSIP. First of all, we have to have a referral. The referral may come from educational institutions. It may also come from, let us say, the family court or CPFSA. Once we receive that referral, we engage the student in an intake session, followed by one-on-one session, after which they will join the psychoeducational group sessions. Following that particular session, we have another one-on-one session. At this point, there are times where we see the need to invite parents and other family members or those a part of the conflict that probably led to the student being referred to us in the first place. After that second one-on-one session, we oftentimes do a post-assessment that will help us to put together our release letter. Now, at the time that we'd be putting together this release letter, of course, there may be an opportunity to refer to another external agency, for example, Child Guidance Clinic. Apart from that, however, we will engage in follow-up sessions with the students.
After 15 years of successful operation, the doors of opportunities that the program has opened to children who are at risk of suspension or those who have been suspended has certainly been something to talk about.
Students are a bit reluctant at times on their first day, especially because they never really see the need for them to be here, as the stigma attached to the program is that, you know, bad picnic, come this side and all of that. But after they understand the program, you know, it's explained to them and what they'll achieve here, they never want to leave at the end.
And that certainly sounds accurate, especially as it aligns with the testimonies of Nicholas Golding and Shamar Steele, now reformed thanks to the program.
My principal introduced me to the program. Well, I was introduced to the program because of some late going to school and some trouble that I was given at school. So I was placed here to get around certain edges that need to be dealt with.
I got into a fight with one of my classmates, didn't get suspended. And the principal ended up sending me on our program, learn to control my anger, and hopefully have a certain bad situation.
Well, it helped in a majority of ways because it helps me to counteract with others on a better level, or to deal with disputes that involve being under control and how to react to certain people and how to walk away from certain things that is unnecessary. Some of the things that they use to help me is one-on-one sitting down with me, helping me to go through certain emotional problems and how to deal with certain problems.
They teach me how to control my anger and teach me effective techniques, how to manage my anger, like walk away and take a deep breath, or just think about something different and relax my muscle, and how to resolve conflict between me and my peer or someone else. Since I've been through so much and I end up start doing movie based on my situation, my movie them, I write them on things that I learn. All of these positive changes is really because I was in the program. I would encourage other persons in a similar situation to join the program because they can learn how to control their anger, avoid certain bad situation, put themselves in any trouble, and learn to resolve conflict between them and their parents or their peer or family members.
I would encourage others to be a part of the program because this program helps you in a lot of ways. Emotionally, physically, all type of ways that you think that many others, you cannot talk to them about certain things, but these people give an ear to your problem.
We have some marvelous response. We have such life-changing opportunity for them. This is their second chance program. We've had moments where students, literally, we are still mommy, daddy, uncles, and aunties for many, even years after exiting the program. Imagine that. They'll still come back wanting to give their time to other students in terms of mentorship. So it's a lifelong relationship that we build with them, which I think speaks to the impact of the program on these beneficiaries.
Thanks for sticking with us through today's Jamaica Magazine journey. Our conversations do not have to end here, though. Keep engaging with the JIS team on our website at www.jis.gov.jm. From all of us here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry. See you soon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.